Oh yeah, better believe that.
It's
Sunday
morning time,
mornings,
Sunday morning.
whoo,
Woo, okay.
a little bit
So
early.
a little bit early. So we're gonna apologize. We gonna get our
Yes,
act together. We
yes,
promise.
Lord. But late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, we got lounging. We're chilling. We're running down your week. This episode is gonna be a little different because we have like one main topic, but we'll get into some other stuff if we got the chance. But to my left, I have the wonderful Marqueeda LaStar.
Thank you, people. Don't please stop.
Please,
Stop.
please.
Look, hold your applause. Hold your applause. We gotta get to the show. We gotta get to the
So tons of stuff happened this week.
Tons.
And we want to thank you guys for watching. Go and hit that thumbs up, all that good stuff. Share this stream to your friends if they are up on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Right,
you know
it's
what I'm
first
saying?
Sunday.
First Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Y'all commune after y'all commune with the Lord. Y'all commune with the Lord. Commune with us. You know what I'm saying? We got one main topic. You guys seen it in the title.
Because it's Sunday first, we thought nothing better be to talk about Queen Aretha's homecoming.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got the homegoing service. You know what I'm saying? We got, everybody, all the family up front. You know, we got the very important people in the rear. And then most of
on the stage too.
Oh boy. Man, they was not playing. So we're gonna get into the highs and the lows.
There's definitely some lows
of Aretha Franklin's funeral service. What's a high for you, I guess? Because I want to start off nice. Because I know there's some bad stuff.
I think the performances, Stevie Wonder had everybody in there crying, and he also like kind of saved the day with I think there was two like really low points that were like a big issue, but I think the singing and just the positive words about and the things I learned about Aretha and her legacy, it's a lot more than I had realized. So I those were there were lots of high points. Let's not let the low points steal away that there were a lot of high points, and this was a wonderful service overall, but it definitely has some big D's. But it takes a lot to sink the ship, the homegoing ship of Queen Aretha. Okay.
Now I will say this: I saw a couple of people talking about how long the service was, and people were talking about 7 hours. Do you have to be 7 hours? Does it have to be this long? Here's my statement to that: if we're not going to do 7 hours for Aretha, who are we going to do 7 hours for? Because honestly, let's be up. Mike gone, Prince gone,
and they
now Aretha gone.
Long services.
Who else? We ain't got but too many more. You know what I'm saying? Patty, Shaka, maybe. Besides that, anyone that would be kind of like our age, say in their 30s or in their 20s, people that you thought may, kind of pass the torch, carry the torch, they're not really doing anything. So, there's not many people that you could do this type of service for.
I wouldn't even make that argument though. Okay, let's get into the culture though.
Okay.
Even for I'm not tearing down anybody's relatives. It's just, but nope, not doing it. But I'm saying for your everyday person, everyday black person.
Yeah, everyday black person.
I know. I've had some deaths in my family, unfortunately, and attended the funerals, and the funerals go long. Let's not sit out here and be brand new. We black people they start late, they end late, they go long. It's like church.
Because everybody want to say something.
Everybody want to sing. This was her favorite song. Let me tell you about this one time. Let me tell you this advice she gave, how he or she changed my life. This is our culture. So if you have a legend in the room, and because my thing has touched many people's lives, the funerals go long. And for our culture is because usually if you have a lot of people show up, the only time you won't have a short funeral when you black. If you ain't nobody showed up to your funeral, that's how that works. If nobody came to if it's just your immediate family or your partners, Hey, look, you wasn't doing the work.
No, man, for real.
But I think that is part of it's almost like the longer your funeral. I imagine there's some culture.
The longer your funeral
in Africa, where the longer your culture, the more respected you were.
Now, to that, my cousin, I have some family that lives in Ghana, and one of my cousins passed over there. They were doing like programs for the kids. Computer program and stuff like that, helping with the schools. When he passed, they flew him back with the Ghanaian flag. And they actually sent like an emissary to speak on his behalf. Mm-hmm. And when they came in, they marched in a way that they were like, it was kind of like they were almost celebrating his life. And I thought it was nice. I thought it was beautiful the way, because of course here in America, usually, funerals are all sad, people crying, stuff like that. People want to fall on the casket. But in this case, they were like, almost like lifting his spirit up, while they as they processed in, and it was like the music, the chanting, and it was just beautiful. And I ain't gonna front, at that moment I was like, yo, if they love this brother this much, like I'm about to go back to the motherland. But no, seriously, that's part of our culture. I think it's in us, when we come and we sing. And real quick to the chat, shout out to Alan Lewis. I know I saw you in there. Shout out to some other folks, but we'll get to y'all names in just a second. But I do think a part of our culture is just everybody saying something, making sure we're, singing their favorite songs, stuff like that. And just having a general, I guess, like way back when kind of moments with people. One of even though the funny thing is I didn't see all of the highs that I expected to see, because on Twitter, unfortunately, I need to change who I'm following apparently. But all I kept seeing was Faith Hill performs. Ariana Grande perform. We will get there. We gonna get there. But I'm like, yo, hold up. Where the sisters at? They don't wanna. So apparently, yes, there were sisters there and people that were performing and all that good stuff. But my feed was not filled with them.
There were two different Twitters. There was depending on which hashtag you were following, one was very black and one was very mainstream. It was like the THR version. Right, and so depending on which one you followed, that you got, it depended on the flavor you got. And stuff like that.
Because I got that Faith Hill flavor, and I was just like, ain't nobody else there. I was expecting to see tweets of like Beyonce showed up, Patty showed up, Shaka did show up. I don't know if Patty was there, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she was. And then Stevie and stuff. I was expecting to see those tweets. I didn't get those tweets.
Right. Yeah. You definitely following the right person. Man, I have to shout. It's like Alan Lewis is here.
Oh, Little Miss Chocolate, what's up?
Here. Max Evans is
What up?
I was like, y'all really got up.
Y'all got up. Yo, we right here. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We right here. We checking it out and chilling on Sunday morning.
Complimenting you on your goatee.
Yo, man, look, I switched it up. I was like, people weren't ready. I was like, look, I switched it up. I got the box, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm changing a couple things.
Oh my goodness. Alan Lewis was like Faith Hill, and those Billy Goat vocals was a tragedy. Why, son? Why you have to be so hard? Why you giving them all that smoke?
I was feeling the same thing. I was like, why they got her singing on this joint?
You was definitely following the wrong people, because I didn't even know Faith Hill was there.
When I saw, I was like, I saw it come up on Twitter. I was like, what is she there for? Now the thing is, they probably had a personal relationship, and that's cool. But I'm just saying, look, this is the family affair, right? You ain't family.
Okay.
I'm saying.
I'm gonna stay over here.
Faith Hill, when I heard that singing, I was just like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know if Aretha would approve of this, but
because she shade you for your vocal.
Yo.
Like
Aretha,
everybody remembers that interview she did not too long ago, where she's like, I'm gonna throw out names. And when they said Taylor Swift, she was like, gowns. Beautiful gowns. She will shade you if you don't think your vocals.
Because you're talking about, because Aretha comes from like the class of like, you show enough consent. Like if you sang a Dr. Seuss book, you'd be like, yo, you gonna put this album out? Like anything. Like it had anything she could. I mean, look at what she did. I mean, well, of course, two divas did this, but look, even a different world, something that's kind of simple,
Man,
but
I
the
love
way
that
she
intro.
killed, man,
she killed that
all
intro.
know that.
I like just listening to the intro.
Thank
I
you.
will literally be like, you know what? I'm in a mood. And I will go look up the intro to A Different World, Aretha Franklin's version, because there are two versions.
Yeah. There's a Patty version and a Aretha version.
Yeah. And I was like, I love Patty, but I do love the Aretha version.
Patty!
Yeah. And
Come on, Patty! Yeah, that brother sold some pies, boy. That brother sold some pies.
Yeah.
All right, so
okay, so I had some questions from Star Drew saying how to share moments and what was your favorite tune? May only take 4 hours to talk it out. Okay, Star, I'm gonna need you to clarify your comment. I'm not 100%.
Maybe
sure.
our favorite moments, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of hitting upon some of that.
Yeah.
So we're starting off on a positive note. Before we descend into the mess.
Into the Twitter darkness.
I have to say though that the moments that were really bad moments did come at the end. So I feel like we're starting on a positive. Totally makes sense.
Also, I think it was Alan Lewis or Max, one of y'all, the mayo flavored Twitter. That's funny. Y'all, I saw that. That was funny. Just let you know. Talk about it. It's mayo flavored Twitter, man. That's what I got. Because I saw, they kept showing, I kept seeing Faith Hill and Ariana Grande. That's all I saw. And I was like, yo, I know there's got to be more people there.
Yeah,
like, Michael Eric Dyson was a nice, that was a nice
And then Shaka sung.
Yep, and she killed it.
And then Gladys sung.
Smokey came through. And I learned that I never knew that Smokey and Aretha came up in the same neighborhood.
What?
Yeah,
they did not know that?
I never knew that.
That's their connection.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Oh.
I never knew that. So I was like, snap.
I'm just
so it's like,
that's all.
Yeah, look. But see, the good thing is, I'm able to be like,
unnecessary shade.
I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying?
She was just saying. Okay, thank you, Star. Sorry, I was.
All right, work. Okay. But yeah, like those moments were like really great, really emotional, and you can see the lives and the relationships that she had. I do like the clip where was it Jennifer, the young lady that plays the mom on Blackish. I can't remember her full name. Jennifer. Some guys help me in the chat. But she was talking about Aretha, and she was like
Ross's daughter.
Ross's daughter. What?
You said the person who plays the mom on Blackish, right?
Yeah. Oh, Grandma. Sorry.
Oh, Grandma. That's
sorry.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis. Yeah. She was talking about about Aretha.
Yes, the Clark sisters were amazing. I'm sorry, Miss.
Oh yeah.
They were
Clark
amazing.
sisters.
They were
Yeah.
amazing.
Talk about some singing. But yeah, like she said that somebody hugged her and said, Aretha was so sweet. And she was like, Aretha was sweet. She was like, let you miss a note. She was like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
She was like, that's my girl. And she was like, let me tell you what she really was.
But no, that's your girl. I feel you. But I feel like
you gotta,
all that can exist in one person.
Yeah.
She is kind. She is sweet. She is nurturing. But like any good auntie,
yeah,
she gonna let you know.
Well, yeah, Jennifer said she was like, a diva ain't gotta be sweet.
Yeah.
That's why she a diva. Yo, man. But it's wow. Because I remember even... Do you guys remember when VH1 was doing like the VH1 Honors the Divas or whatever?
Yeah.
And remember when like a whole bunch of the younger class was trying to sing the original class music?
Oh, I remember this. And they were just shaking their head. They were just...
Like, it would be like, every year you would see Aretha or Patty or Shaka
they was like
they wouldn't do it like hard because like they knew cameras on, but you see their face like...
Some did though.
Like, put my song down. Put my song down.
Take it all out your mouth. Take it out your mouth.
Just stop. I don't
Did you practice? Did you? No.
Yeah, so y'all rehearsed. Y'all rehearsed, and this is what you got.
This is what you got after you rehearsed. How long did you rehearse?
Oh man,
so the question it was real.
Oh man, it's funny. But yeah, so. Michael Eric, because I saw a lot of stuff after. So Michael Eric Dyson, Smokey was really, like, really moving, and it was something that I think was definitely befitting a queen.
Right, very much so.
Yeah.
And then I love how everybody yelped and hollered about Aretha's legs being crossed and her crossing with those pumps on.
Oh,
she was fabulous though.
Yo.
She was all about her fashion.
Yo,
so I was like, I love
let
it.
her be.
She was like a boss. And
yeah.
Even in death, she was a boss. I was like, yes, she commanded.
Yeah, she did her thing. Always.
I loved it. It was a celebration of her life. And like, you know, because passing is just a part of our lives. Like, I don't feel like I was so much mourning her passing because I was like, well, she got to 75, 76.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great age to get to. And, you know, every year is a blessing. And I was like, I'm glad her sufferings ended because while they were keeping it under wraps, she was suffering from pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And so when they originally announced that a few years back, and you go, no, that's not what it was. Clearly, that's what it was. And
but,
so,
you know, of course, they wanted to kind of like keep it,
right,
you know.
and we respect it. We all kind of like got the gist because she stayed losing weight. You
know?
She stayed losing weight. So when she passed, she was like supposedly only like 96 or something pounds.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad this suffering has come to an end.
Yeah.
And my mom said this when we were talking about it yesterday. She says that's that thing about those old, like, legendary performers. They will, because she got bitched only this year to stop performing.
Wow.
And so that's the difference. The work ethic is just on a whole nother level. Like, you know,
it's like, I got cancer, nobody knows, and I'm still performing.
And it's still out here because
it's still out singing your best singer.
Your fave.
Your fave.
Out singing your fave with cancer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it gives them freedom. Like, they truly revel in their art.
Yeah.
And you know, nothing brings them greater joy than to do what they do, which is sing. And I can totally see wanting to do that if that's your how you escape. That's how you get out of your body.
True.
And stuff like that. So I'm here for that. So yeah, so I thought that was beautiful. She's a strong woman. Her civil rights legacy I was unaware of. Until
I didn't know about that. Yeah.
It makes sense to me because she's such a strong woman, such a strong force.
Yeah, but I just never knew.
Music, but I was unaware. So I felt there was so many good nuggets that came out of here when people were like, well, how can I do, you know, the work socially, you know, and really fight for, like, you know, fight against equality and fight for justice for everyone.
Yeah.
People have done it. And they've done it in times where things were way worse.
Yeah.
And so I was like, don't question, you know, how you gonna do it is what you should be asking.
Yeah.
And it comes at all different levels. She did what she could do.
With her talent.
And with her talent, she's still in a way, like, her lane is enormous, but she's still stuck to, like, this is what I can do. Yeah. Sometimes I think people misconstrue that you need to do something, and that means you need to step out your lane. No, you don't have to step out your lane.
You can stay where you are and still make a statement as a bank accountant, a doctor, engineer, whatever.
Because nobody's asking you to go without and go hungry.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's asking you to do that. We know you'll do a lot more things for the culture where you're at than, you know, on the street somewhere. So, you know, you find what you can do. But,
big shout out to the Marvin Sapp. Yeah, I think, was it Alan Lewis that said, Marvin Sapp had him singing along. Yeah, they had, when it comes to our Twitter.
I did not see when Chaka Khan was reading off the fan, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay, so we can get into some jokes now.
Right.
All right. Reading off the fan. Yo, look, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But she kept that joint classy, though.
Right.
She kept that joint classy. Also, that Twitter post about the DVD box set of Aretha Franklin. Yo, Cass is wrong. The DVD box set of the Aretha Franklin funeral, man. And that joint had like 9 volumes in it. It looked like Roots. Like, yo. But on the sneak tip, though.
Right.
I kind of want that Blu-ray edition.
Right. It's not. It's something somebody might buy.
Y'all playing around. Yo, if y'all got that stream or y'all got that BitTorrent or something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might want to hug it up.
Exactly.
Cut a couple discs. You know what I'm saying? put some printing out there. You know what I'm saying? Get some
Max
boxes.
even says he doesn't think the political statements should have been there though, and there's a time and place. I would argue against it because
it's weird.
We were just brought up the fact that if it wasn't for the funeral, we wouldn't be aware of her civil rights contributions.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that turns out that was a huge part of her legacy.
Yeah, it's a weird line because I kind of see where you're going because it is a funeral and it's kind of like, but when will you have a platform to make a statement this big?
Right.
So it's kind of, you know, but I see where you're going because it's like.
I mean, and I do agree that I didn't like some of the things that were said.
True.
Which, why I would argue they shouldn't be said, not just because they were political, but because they went against her legacy. When we get into like some of the negative things that happen about how you're going to chastise and blame black women being single mothers when she was a single mother. Yeah. Like, come on, son. Whose funeral are you talking at? Like, it doesn't make any sense to bash something that applies to the recently deceased. Yeah, to the person that you're supposed to be celebrating and talking great things about. So no, this was not the time for you. And I would feel that's political. That's just a trash. That's
kind of like a respectability politic kind of thing.
Right, exactly. It is.
Which I hate that term. I don't know why. It just seems weird. I just don't like the term. Well, but I understand what it means.
I think the term is not problematic because I think you shouldn't like it because it represents something so bad.
Yeah, it's
because the idea is I have to be your version of whatever you want me to be for you to give me any kind of respect. It's just that's the problem with our society. Yeah. Everybody seems to have like being internalized.
Being a single mother, I'll say this because my mother was a single mother. She had 2 knuckleheaded boys. One was right here. So being a single mother isn't great, but you know, let's remember it takes 2. It's not like women are just walking around like, can't wait till I can be a single mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I don't know everybody's relationship, but when I grew up and I know my mom as an adult, I know my father as an adult, y'all just won't go and get along. And life happens that way. You know, you and your man or you and your woman can't get along right now. Well, throw a baby in the mix, couple money problems, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just jumping on someone saying like single mothers isn't always a fair assessment.
It's not a fair assessment, and I feel like this idea of co-parenting where y'all grow the fuck up and raise the child y'all made together. I don't care if y'all don't like each other, y'all still got a kid together. Yeah, but you get to dip out because you and the woman didn't get along. And you won't calm down to let that man in the life because it can go both ways.
Oh,
you don't calm down because you hurt because it didn't work out. No, both of y'all need to grow up and act like adults and take care of this child y'all done made. But there's a lot of people not doing that. And co-parenting needs to be a thing where it is not about your relationship. Yeah. It's about what y'all need to do for this child. So both people can be present in the child's life. You know, you're supported and all that good stuff. So I just need people to grow up about that and stop preaching this narrative about it's just one person's fault. There's a lot of people blaming, like Mike said, take 2.
Yeah, because like even my mom never said a cross word about my father, and she said because I want you to figure out who he is for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that she did.
I think that's a good plan because if you came back and said, well, why? Like, cause I've had friends who've gone through this where the mother decided not to say bad things about him, and they'll come back and say, well, why you didn't tell me? Yeah. And it's because if I had, I
don't want to kind of throw your perception
on that, and then sometimes it's like no matter how much you try to warn a kid, they don't want to hear it, and then they'll say, well, no, you're just my dad. You just hate my dad, or you just hate my mom, and so it's like you almost like gotta let them discover it on their own because then they'll accuse you of putting that in their mind. Well, you wanted this to happen. No, I didn't want this to happen. Like, so you gotta. I think that's like the best approach.
Yeah. But I saw. I think Alan said Shaka Aretha was her biggest inspiration. Yeah, Shaka, like yo man, she really. There were so many people that looked up to her. Just on a working level, as far as being out there performing. On a level of just like how she carried herself in the business, because I mean, if you think about it, in the business, you've never really heard of Aretha in no mess. You know what I'm saying? Because she carried herself a certain way.
Right.
And she had that level of respect.
And she wasn't here for drama.
Yeah,
she was like, as much shade as she threw, it was always righteous shade.
Yeah,
I felt it was well deserved, it was well placed.
Yes.
So always super appropriate. I mean, we can't all be that way. I wish we could, because I felt her timing was always really good.
Yeah. It was always like, you know what, I could do it right now, but I'm gonna wait.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna do it right this second. And then when she came with it, it was like, all right, that's how I let it slide.
I was like, you petty, but I'm gonna allow it.
Yeah, it's petty, but we'll allow it. So, we've gotten to some funny stuff, the highs and some funny stuff.
And we touched on one of the lows, because that eulogy that he gave was the one that he decided to put all the stake in about black women. And then, of course, one of the other bad incidents was the groping of what's the woman?
Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. I'm not messing it up, I promise.
I was like, I don't know why, because I listened to her and I'm like, what's going on? But I have been struggling.
Now, I will say this because I grew up in the church. I'll say this as someone who has seen pastors years and years and years. If you're a pastor and you're watching this, or if you know if your dad's a pastor or your mom's a pastor, whatever, or send this to them, just this one piece. Don't start right here. Be careful about how you use your pulpit, because people look at you as being the closest person to God due to the position you've taken. So you have to be careful. You have to be firm but fair and not use your pulpit to bully people. You know what I'm saying? I know when it comes to church, I know everybody wants to do the hot topics of either you're having too much sex or you're gay, because those are hot topics. But trust me, there's way more sin besides just those two things. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to consider gay being a sin from the pulpit, there's way more than that. Gossip, rumors, lying on your taxes, lying on your job application, those are all. So it's like, those
are the things they do.
Yeah. So it's like, let's not get into the let's not get into the whole area of, well, it's not my sin, so it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that we should just let everybody just sin all they want, but be firm but fair. Like, yes, this woman might be a single mother, but I'm pretty sure it's not by choice. So let's not use the pulpit to bash them. Why don't we use the pulpit to try to find some understanding and figure out how to fix this, or how to go forward, or how to mend this thing.
Elevate and empower those individuals.
Yeah, you got to be very careful, because I know when you're running a church, because I've been, I'm a PK. So when you're running a church, or when you're at the head of a church, there is a lot of mess that goes on, and sometimes you might feel like you need to chastise from the pulpit, but you have to pull back and discipline yourself not to, because you're kind of putting people's business out there, or like sneak dissing people from a place where I don't think that's what Jesus meant that for. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be for real. So that's on the other side. Now, let's talk about Ariana Grande.
Well, in leaning into that, I would have to say that, again, this is a calling you had that you chose the answer.
Yeah.
And so you have to level up. You can't, I don't want to hear this BS about, well, I'm just a man and I had a weak moment, and you know how it is, whether it's groping young women, whether it's embezzling, your church funds.
Because it happens.
That
money stuff happens probably way more.
And they ain't never built anything. Like, we all know the jokes. And so
that money stuff probably happens way more than the sex stuff.
Exactly. And so my thing is, it was being said often online. It's like, with this funeral, you saw everything you absolutely love about the black church, and everything you absolutely hate about it, all in the same city, and it's really, it's really hard to take. It's like there's all these articles about why people are leaving the church and why they're not coming to church, and and it's not like they're any less spiritual. I don't run into any people my age any less spiritual. There's still people like, bless you, and God is good and all. You know, they still feel and want a connection to God, but church just ain't the place to get it because the hypocrisy has gotten too high. It's too much.
I think because my opinion, and I know people in the chat, I see, thank you for coming through, hit that thumbs up, you know what I'm saying, make sure to share the stream. Go and get on the black church for just a moment, but I think the black church... Are just like, I think the black church has lost a lot of credibility because the opportunities they had to be at the forefront of our movement in terms of protest, in terms of voting, in terms of putting forward bills, in terms of being right there when things happen, to speak up and speak out. They cowered. They stepped back.
They didn't even take an interest.
They didn't, you know,
they too busy talking about gay
disappeared.
People.
You know what I'm saying? They disappeared.
Gay people and single mothers. When we got all this other stuff because when civil rights went down, the church was in front.
Church was a huge...
Everybody leading. Everybody who was a leader.
Huge part of the civil rights movement.
Who was a religious leader.
Imagine how much more credibility the black church would have is whenever one of these children died, it wasn't just regular people out there, but no, it was the unified pastors of that area standing up saying, we want answers. Here is the bill that we've drawn up. We are pushing it forward. We want this to change in the city, blah, 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 and leading those marches and taking ownership of their culture and the people that they are preaching to. But unfortunately, like many things, some parts of church have become a get-rich-quick scheme. Everybody wants a mega church. Everybody want to be big. Everybody just want to make money. Everybody wants people to... Everybody wants to kind of like have people worship them instead of actually do something to set people free. But that's I'll leave it. Look, I grew up in the church, so I'll leave that alone.
Right. So you go too far. You probably cut some nerves already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I probably already cut some.
Star Drew says this isn't the 60s, the 50s, or 60s anymore. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Maybe I guess by the caliber of like church
assumptions. Assumptions are deadly.
Oh yeah.
So just clarify what you mean by it isn't the 50s or 60s anymore, because I can't quite follow. That's so open. I could put anything into that. And so Little Miss Chocolate says a lot of black people are leaving the church, especially the young. Yeah, we were talking about where they're just not finding what it is. They can't fit, and maybe I feel like religion has its like set pillars, right? Mm-hmm. But it still has to live in the world, and I feel like I've heard that be preached in church before, that you're still in the world, and you still have to have these pillars that go with your faith. However, you still live in the world. True. And there needs to be something done to kind of bring, because I feel like
in the world but not of the world.
Right, exactly. And stuff. So it's like you get so far away from the people you're preaching with that you're not tackling and addressing the struggles and issues that are actually going through.
Because you're now disassociated from their life.
And they get lost and they're like, look, I got this going on. You never talk about that. You talk about three things every you just rotate. And you're like,
it's
okay.
like you talking about you talking about sex, because it's the hot topics. You know what I'm saying? Sex, gay, what's another real hot topic? I mean, you can say single mother, but that's kind of tied to sex.
It's not tied to sex. It's just gender roles. It's like it's this desire to reinforce like these old. Maybe this is what Star Drew was getting at about these old values about what women should do and men should do.
Yeah.
A lot of religions have those, and they're very problematic because they don't work.
Yeah.
Both sides. There are women who are much more ambitious, and let's be real, marriages were more successful with the quotation marks because women didn't have options. I have to stay, and you were encouraged to stay with abusive spouses. Well, in the eyes of the Lord, you guys together forever and a day. But nobody wants to talk to that man about maybe stop being.
Yeah, because wife, I'll say this. I remember being in a conversation, and this guy was talking about I was in a barbershop and this woman was
IRS is a hot topic.
the IRS.
Should be.
The IRS will get you one. Yo, straight up for some churches, the IRS is a high topic. But I remember being in a barbershop and this guy was this woman was talking about kind of like down about the older generation of women. And I was like, yes, the older generation of women did stick around. They did stay around. But you do have to give them some, because the way she was talking about it was like, she's above them, kind of thing. And I was like, well, no, you can't look at it like that. They did what they had to do to raise their families.
Right.
On the flip side, for men, like my grandfather.
I take offense to like putting your nose up.
Yeah, it was almost like she was like above them.
It was a different time. Like, look, boo, you would not have been able to like just take off and get a job because one, they weren't hiring women.
True.
And don't get a divorce. Not only will you not get hired, but nobody wants to talk to the divorcee. Okay, nobody wants to be your friend.
See, getting divorced is kind of cool now.
It's perfectly all right now. But
it's like the cool
you
thing.
go back just 30 years, 20 years, like even in the 80s, it was still like, ooh, you divorced? Okay, that's it was edgy.
Yeah.
It had made it to edgy in the 80s.
Yeah.
70s, it was still an issue. You still wanted to know even though women were now entering the workforce in greater numbers,
true.
They had to go to court to get things like, oh, are you single or are you married? Why do you need to know I'm single or married? Because on-job her sexual harassment is really real. I want to know if I got a husband at home to deal with. Are you fair game? I'm at work.
Fair game?
I'm at work, y'all. And look, I had an interaction with a man that was he was trying to befriend me. Okay. But we were at an event together, and he became like low key infatuated with one of the women working the event.
Okay.
And he thought it was perfectly okay and reasonable to be like, I'm gonna go up to the boss, I'm gonna send the contact information, because he didn't get a chance to talk to her and hit on her job, which I said, well, that's probably not the best thing to do. I was trying to help him out. I was like, she's working. I don't know if she would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nah, it would be cool. And like, he just totally dismissed it. I'm like, nah, dude, she does not want to be hit on at work. Yeah. And so she's dressed up for work. Like,
work is just not the place, guys.
It's not. It's like I have to be. And like, you're like, oh, she was so nice. Dude, she's at work. That's what she's supposed to be nice. Because she was a hostess. I was like, she's a hostess.
Yeah, she's a hostess.
That's literally her job.
It's to host.
It's the host and be nice to you. And so that's what be killing me sometimes. But it's just like, and then it's like, oh, then he thought it was cool to like low key stalk the chick and like try to get like, I was like, look. And so that's like this whole situation where people look on that and be like, oh no, he was just being persistent. And I'm like, these old traditional.
Yeah, because there is a fine line where it's like
he was being persistent.
You do want to, because I am old school. I do think the man should make the first move, as far as like a woman should be there to choose whether she is interested in you or not, because you came and said, hello, I am such and such. I am presenting myself to you. Hopefully not dirty and crusty. All right. So, and then she was
like,
saying,
Alan pointed out, like with Bill Clinton, like being you pointed out earlier, Alan, about Bill Clinton apparently was giving him the eye. Like, I had seen other things about Bill Clinton, but apparently they were giving her the eye. Everybody thought. Like, I guess, like, all these dudes didn't realize they were, like, on camera? Or it doesn't matter? Or maybe that's the problem with rape culture. It's like, you're going to make your jokes. He's being a man.
Well,
I'm like, no.
Here, I'll jump for the old school, because I remember talking to this guy. Like, there's, with as far as, like, the new and the old. Like, my grandfather walked to work. He worked between 12 and 16 hours a day, and walked home. A lot of brothers these days ain't doing it. They're not going to. So you're talking about a different culture. Now, as far as the dress, a lot of people came in talking about Ariana's dress and how the open part at the top and how short it was. I've been at church. Yes, there are certain outfits that they appeal to the male gaze. I'll say that. But when you use some discipline, just look. and don't laugh at me, I call it the Stevie. Either you look up in the sky or you look down low. That's all. I've been in church. I have literally been in church in a pew behind a woman. She had a dress that was fit her form exactly. I'll just say that. When she stood up to clap with the music, her posterior was eye level. So instead of being there, when she stood up, I would just stand up. So then I'm looking at the back of her head. What is that called? Discipline. To make sure that you know what you like. So tell yourself, reel it in and be a grown-up. Right. So when she stood up, instead of getting a whole face full of things, I stood up as well. So then all I would see is hair. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to do it.
I mean, the woman's not going to change her form.
I'm not asking her to do it. I'm just saying I know what I like. I'm not saying you, because I get to it too. I date women as well, and I was at a party last night. And you was like, word?
I had a moment. I was like, let me correct my glaze.
Fix it.
Fix where I'm looking, what I'm doing, how long am I lingering on it. I'm like, let me, appreciate and move on.
I have literally been in places where a dude will come up to me and be like, yo, did you see that? Yo, yes, I saw it. I have class, so I'm not seeing it anymore.
I don't feel like you have to unsee it. It's just like that whole I'm gonna follow and do this. What is
you ain't
that?
supposed to be like,
what do you think that is signaling? And so his creepy continuous looks like, man, get you a snapshot and put it in your brain for later.
Look, you
can't do nothing on a stage with that image.
Let me see that book real quick. I'm gonna teach y'all fellas how to do this. All right. So you at church. Here come Ariana Grande, right? I want you to take your program and you do this for the rest of the song. For the rest of the song, you do this. I know you like that. You see it and it looks great, but you stay here. Right? Stay right in here. Read that program good. Just be like, you know what? Yep. Yeah, some thighs up on stage, but you know what? I'm just reading.
She does have lovely
I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading and I'm reading. Yes, she has a little breast window in the front, but I don't know because I'm reading. I'm reading right now.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like you don't even have to do all that, but I
because when they showed the tape, they were like.
Right. I was just like, why?
There was people out too hard.
You might as well did that. You might as well just leaned in and been like, what? Because that's what you look like. Everybody's like, why are you being a creeper? Like, why? My guy, you act like you ain't never had sex, like you ain't never seen one before.
Yo, look,
I need you to get it together.
Keep it in your head and just keep it in your head. In your mind, don't put it out there.
Hey, get it together. Get it together.
Fix it.
Just fix it.
All right, so I guess so we can wrap. Let's talk about the groping situation.
Yeah.
Because someone showed me a still shot of it at first, and I was like, yo, man, people are just getting this taken out of context. Because you know how you take pictures and you put your arm around, like you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when I saw the slow-mo video, that's when I was like, oh.
Right. His hand travel, and even I was telling him, even with just the picture, there's a clear imprint.
Hand buckling or something.
Like how hard, how hard he's gripping into the side of her breast. And so you can hear the music, you don't have to look.
Oh man, yo.
Yeah, so
just keep it in your ear.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta just hear the music.
But yeah, the groping thing was so, and I was telling Mike
that was random too.
It's random, and then him referring to her as a Taco Bell item.
Yo, that was not
offensive
even
on so many levels.
That wasn't even necessary.
You're objectifying her. You're making light of her ethnicity. Like, come on, my
It's
guy.
not even- it's not
and
even-
like, and then you're making sexual innuendo. I mean, come on.
It's like,
you're a
oh, he made a
pastor.
sexual innuendo
You called
too?
a chick a Taco Bell idol.
Oh yeah,
come
that's
on,
true.
my
Yeah,
guy.
it's
Like-
yo. I thought he said something else. In
No.
Nah,
But
he was a habitual line
I
stepper.
He was habitual.
Yo,
He
man.
just does it all at one time. He just left over the line.
He just took like 30 seconds and
just
stepped all the lines.
And so I said there's a greater issue being pointed out here. It's like look how bold and comfortable he is being that bold.
Yeah.
That he's been getting away with being this bold and this familiar and this fresh.
Because that's a huge church.
Because
mad eyeballs are on
mad eyeballs is being filmed,
in front and behind,
televised. It's being like from every angle, and you thought that you was smooth enough, which you wasn't, because the whole Taco Bell item was like real apparent.
That
like,
was it was
real
like
apparent.
I don't know if it was just a bad joke for bad. There's three things that I was like, okay, is this a bad joke? Is this someone nervous trying to lighten the mood, or is this someone who, for some reason, doesn't like her? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I was like,
well, it was clear.
It was one of those things where I was like,
dislike.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't clear. It was dislike. You could hear the sex in his voice, and it was in his look and his legs. I'm like,
oh, the sex in his voice.
It was like, I mean, just as he was talking,
I know.
you know what I mean. When guys are like, man, if you let me, I will show you the way. You know.
Yo, okay, all right, straight up, super funny. Back in the day, I used to be like, bruh, man, one time, we'll give her all this R&B loving. But that's old Mike.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That's old Mike.
That's
you know what I'm
cheesy and terrible, Mike.
That's old Mike. Yo, everybody want that R&B loving. You see R&B music videos where it be like, oh, you know, misty and, you know, the sauna and like in the shower, it's like strawberries and stuff. You know, that R&B loving where there's rose petals there. Don't nobody tell you gotta clean up all the rose petals. You know what I'm saying?
Back to this.
But back to this.
I agree with Little Miss Chocolate. I agree. I didn't understand how he thought that it was okay for him to say that.
Yeah. Or that he would get away with it.
Awesome 1990 said he should have let her go after she performed. She was so nervous. I mean, she was distraught.
Really?
Little Miss Chocolate also pointed out, like, from when you looking at her, you can tell how distraught she is. Like, all the pictures I saw, it was a clear, like, oh, what is happening? Oh my God.
Yeah, and she hasn't said anything yet. I checked. I haven't seen anything. Maybe you guys in the chat know, but she hasn't said anything yet. So I don't know if it's that she just doesn't want to, you know, bring any, you know, because it's the funeral, so she wants to like let it die down before she does something, or maybe she said something behind the scenes and we'll never know.
Right. I mean,
but it was just random and weird. It was just like, okay, you made the dig.
Violating people on
it's like you made the dig about her being Latina, then you like grabbed her. It was just weird because you. All right, imagine you're at a church. Everything seems cool. Then all of a sudden, racist joke, groping. It's like, whoa, huh? What? Where are we? Where did this come from? It's like how did this happen?
Like, that's the 90s, Mike.
Oh.
Your R&B.
That's right. That's the 90s. Get that? You know what I'm saying? Peaches and cream. Love it because you know that I'm a fiend.
She's Italian.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Thank you. So, Italian, you know what I'm saying? Making Italian
Thank you, Joe.
roots. You know what I'm saying? Making fun of her Italian roots. It's still weird.
It's
still weird because it's like you're just at a funeral.
I'm positive that he perceived her as Latina, and that's why he made the joke he did.
It's just weird. It's just weird because you're at a funeral. Everybody's performing. They're talking about their favorite moments, blah blah blah, and then it's like racist joke groping. It's like, how did this get in here?
Slow your roll, Max Evans. We're hoping that she will say something now and not 30 years from.
Oh snap! Okay, all right, Max. All right. You know what, Max? Honestly, I see where you're going. The only thing about this is I think Ariana has the power now to say something. So hopefully she will.
She needs to make the decision. I mean,
has a pastor said something?
I know. I haven't seen her say anything. Neither one of the persons have said anything.
So it's weird because we definitely saw it. If it didn't happen, it sure enough looks like it happened. Because when you play,
are we really going to do that?
Because if they played it in slow mo, and I saw a hand and a breast come together. All right. Now, of course, people can be like, it's slow mo, but slow mo, yo, man, it's very telling. Because see, the picture was just like, holding.
Bishop, why the bishop gotta be Aretha Franklin's bishop? Why can't we use his name? Why you gotta drag women?
Yeah,
he says sorry. So he says he issued an apology yesterday.
Okay, so he said he was sorry after the groping. Now, did he say? Yeah, we'll see what his actual quote was.
His quote was
because
I'm still mad that gotta be her pastor. Why can't he just stand? Why can't he just
and plus, are we sure it's his pastor or just someone who was assigned to do her funeral?
Right.
Because.
But this was another element that we didn't
Your
get
pastor
into.
isn't always the one who does your funeral.
Right, and that's where I'm going to take that is that we pointed this out. Did we point this out? Yeah, we pointed this out earlier about the two different hashtags. I gave you two different flavors, perspectives on this funeral.
You got the male flavor,
and mainstream flavor, and then you had like Black Twitter flavor.
Yeah,
and and there was no need to explain. We were just more like reveling in our culture and celebrating Aretha Franklin going home. And the other ones, I mean, somebody made a joke. I feel like it was somebody off of The Daily Show. I forget his name. His name was like Roy or something like that.
Oh, Roy Moore.
He made a quip about it, like being the only funeral with like the sports breakdown type show. It had one on BET and stuff, but a lot of other people's coverage, the mainstream coverage, like non-Black coverage, was
like CNN or something.
Exactly, it was a lot of like code breaking. That's how it seems the funeral is getting started a little late. I'm like, nah, son, we all knew it was going to get started late.
We already knew because you're going to have waves. You're going to have the people that are there either early or on time. Those are the people that are most likely like the closest of the family. They came on time. Then you got friends or something that'll come in a little bit later. Then you got uncle that you ain't seen about 10, 15 years. He gonna roll in about 45 minutes late. All right. So, you had to wait a bit. You know what I'm saying, for people to file it.
Even his apology is weird.
All right.
He's like, okay. So according to this was yesterday. He says it would never be my intention to touch any woman's breast. He told Associated Press. So they're publishing.
Well, what about his wife? Don't he want to touch it?
And then he says, and I can almost see this in like a pastor, like for like how pastors would say it. It'd be like, maybe I crossed the border. Maybe I was too familiar or friendly. I was like, really? Did you have to put another pun in there? Could you just? But he did. Then he added, but again, I apologize. Look, this is not a song.
I mean, because it wasn't the way the video looks isn't like he. You know how, like, say if you and your friends are getting into a picture and you're like, hey, and we, all put your hands around each other. It doesn't look like that. It looks like he's like maneuvering his hand.
Look at this.
Yo, that joint is mad.
That's in there.
That joint, and they put a red circle on that joint. That joint is like this. That joint is like, guy. That joint is all up on that joint.
And then you issue an apology that makes you like you're winking the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Don't tell nobody. I'm like, he don't care. Yeah, like he's done this before.
He's done it numerous times.
Yeah, he's like this because they're like, oh well, he hugged everybody, but he wanted her.
But you have to be very intent on how you hug somebody. You know the church hug. You hug top. You hug the top so you don't be touching all this. You hug the top. All right, or you do the side. You don't hug someone like you're in a 6th grade school dance. All right, that's how you need to hug somebody. You got to keep that. You know how they put the ruler in front of you, or they come in between. You got to just right there. Just there you go. Don't be all up because his hand was. It was scooping.
I'm looking at other pictures. It's like literally under her breast. Like
it looked like he's trying to sing to her in that joint.
Right. Look, it's like in her breast. I'm like, okay.
Look, just don't be touching non-specific breasts. All right.
Right. And then your apology sound like you are winking the entire time.
Dude.
You're like, ha ha.
Yo, he better be glad he ain't got a Twitter.
Yeah. Woo-hoo. Also, 1990 says, I don't believe that it's her posture. So that was my point about talking about the different.
Yeah, because they tried to blame. Yeah, they tried to blame it on Aretha after she gone.
I'm not saying they blame it. It's like because
Aretha Franklin's
he was
bishop. Like
the ceremonies, the assumption is that it's her pastor when that's not the case.
Yeah.
And it's almost like because this seemed like it was so far and this is a perfect. Somebody like I think it was Sam Sanders on Twitter saying like this is like a master class in race. Like just how the differences, the different
way it was covered,
the things that people don't know, the things that people don't understand about it, and stuff. And there was this constant need to break things down, or they were getting things wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is her pastor, not understanding that the person who precedes your services doesn't necessarily have to be your pastor. I've gone
just like if there was a big white funeral, a bunch of us would be like on the sidelines, like, yo, man, I don't know what's going on. What y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? So that's what white people doing. White people just like, yo, I don't get it. Why is it so long? And we like, yo, look, Mark, get a bottle of water because it's gonna be a while.
Max, why am I not surprised that would be sufficient for you?
What? Max says that apology is sufficient for me. It seems like the general public wants to file this as to
ruin another black man. So us women just need to take a L to protect your precious black man. I get it. Okay. Sure.
Well, I'll say this, Max. Check the video again, because I was
I don't know why we gotta take an L.
Like on the real. I was like, yo, man, what's the big deal? I take pictures. Like, if I was going to take a picture, I'd be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But when I saw that video, watch the video in slow-mo where his hand be like straight maneuvering and cuffing. He scooped that joint up, yo. He got a scoop. I'm just like, look, I'm not a referee, but after watching the playback, I feel like if the 3 refs got to the middle of the field, watch the footage, they come back and be like, all right, we got a flag on the play.
Right.
Breast touching.
Right.
13,
I was like, you're not
10 yards.
touch my breast and linger there. It was so many different things. It was a comment,
straight up,
and then the linger is like how long it lingered. Like just
straight up, we need that. We need a black delegation of refs that look at the tape and be like, all right, have a little meeting on the middle of the field, and then have the one hand ref come out and be like, flag on the play, 10 yards this way. He's gonna have to lose his job, and he's in Twitter jail for the next 3 years. Right. So, like, we need like a group of black people to come together and be like, look, this is gonna be. They're gonna watch the tape. They're gonna look through the receipts, and then come and make their decision.
Right. I guess, but I don't think.
But the slow mo tape, dude. It looked. He got a scoop. It might have been an accidental scoop. But I don't think it was an accident. I think he got a straight up scoop.
Right. I think what's this African goddess is talking about the Taco Bell comments about last night. We went through ethnicity and everything that earlier. It still was. It was still inappropriate.
Yeah, I didn't know whether it was
low-key, like prejudice. Like
I didn't know
trash comment.
I didn't know whether it was someone nervous trying to like break the ice, or if it was someone that like. Because I was like, does he have something to get? Like, do they know each other from, like, because it could have been an inside joke, but I was like, he don't know her. So I'm like, it was random. Okay, so it could have been a nervous joint.
in the comments. So Joe wants us to move on to another subject because she thinks it's kind of triggering. I would like to ask you why it's triggering, because I feel this is an issue that should be discussed. Like, women being broke is never a cool thing.
It was triggered on Twitter, boy.
Like, we keep it light and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's still a very serious issue. So I don't understand why.
And plus,
I was like, because like the word triggering for me is being used in so many ways, and sometimes I feel it's weaponized to deflect conversations that need to happen. So that's my personal opinion on that one.
But
so like, we can open a conversation about triggering things. Like, what is triggering about that before you?
Or like, how are you using?
Silence me on that.
Or like, how are you? Yeah, how are you using?
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean by triggering? Are you being
triggered? Because I was like, if you have a experience that's similar to this and it's a problem for you, then, okay. If it's a problem for you, then we can't skip, but we'll keep that in mind.
Because we're not trying to
exactly
hurt
but
your
I feel
feelings,
like
but
this conversation needs to happen. So anytime that happens, we're just going to ask you, like, dip and come back, because I feel like that's the problem with these subjects, is they get pushed under the rug for various different reasons, and that's the whole point of this show, is to kind of bring light on those subjects. But we will be moving on to another subject, because we have gone on about this for long.
Yeah, so, and that was the last for me for the lows.
Yeah, exactly, for the lows. I know, I don't got anything else for
cool.
the lows.
Well, then we good. Matter of fact, we right at an hour, so we great. We right at an hour, we great. Yo, big shout before we bounce. Joe, Max, Little Miss Chocolate, African Goddess, Alan Lewis. I think I saw King Hebrew in there. What's up? Sunny Hyam. That's Marqueeda. Everybody, thank you for rolling through, checking us out this morning. We will be here every Sunday morning. That's right, Sunday morning. We're gonna be getting that in. Make sure go commune with the love, and then come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're feeling what you're seeing. Share it to your friends. But before we get out of here, I'm joined by
Marqueeda LaStar, and you can find me at LaStar.next everywhere on the internet.
Yeah, and your boy NERDSoul right here, NERDSoul. Search me up. Holla at me on Twitter at ThatNERDSoul. Holla at me on Instagram at ThatNERDSoul. Facebook, all that stuff. Same name. Man, easy to find. Let's talk Twitter stuff. Let's talk comics. Let's talk some Star Wars. Whatever you feeling, whatever you into, we can holler about that. And then, of course, this Thursday, we got Beast Vibes Life with my boy Patron. We're gonna be, I don't know what albums we're talking about this week, but we'll figure that out, and you'll see the post. So guys, thanks for hanging with us, and of course, until next time, it's from us to you saying peace, and y'all better watch that tape. I'm just saying, watch the tape. I peep the tape.